3, the review guide, it's on functions. You have ordered pairs, you have tables, you have the map of the functions, you have the graph of a function. It's going to ask you on your test. All of these questions are going to be on your test, except they're going to be different. So for number 1, you want to label your points. Label your X's, label your Y's. I'm going to tell you, if you don't follow my directions, if you're not writing, I told you at the beginning of this quiz, if you were listening, if you're not writing curly bracket, X bar, and whatever you need to write in between, I'm going to mark it wrong, even if you got all the numbers right. So if you didn't do that on this review, it's going to be a problem. If you did it on the quiz, I'll let you slide today. But on the test, So curly bracket, X bar, X equals, all your X values, 6, 8, 10, 12. Close the curly bracket. Curly bracket, Y bar, Y equals, -2. Do you need to write repeating values? No. Does it hurt you to write repeating values? No. Is this a function? Does X repeat? Does X repeat? No. It's a function. Next one, inputs are X values. These are Y values. So I say curly bracket, X bar, X equals, -8, -7, -6. Close the curly bracket. My range, curly bracket, Y bar, Y equals. Why do I only have 4 Y values? There's a repeating value. Is this a function? Yes. No X values repeat, right? So far, so good. Who's going to pass the test? You're feeling good about this? Please pay attention. You'll pass the test. Next one. How many X values? Technically, how many? 3. What repeats? What repeats? 1. Why? Highlight that. Highlight it. 1 repeats. Highlight it. Is this a function? No. Why? 1 maps to how many numbers? 2 of them. X bar, X equals 1. Y bar, Y equals 2, 5, and 6. Because X repeats, this is not a function. Thank you. Now, what is the object in number 4? What kind of object is that? What kind of object? A circle? A line? It's a triangle. It's a line. It's a line. Now, lines have a domain of, it doesn't matter what it looks like, it's a line. Does it have endpoints? No. If it does not have endpoints, X equals, curly bracket, X bar, X equals, all real numbers. Good. Curly bracket, Y bar, Y equals what? All real numbers. Is this a function or straight lines functions? No. Yes. 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 They are. You still have to put curly brackets when it's real numbers. Now, we're going to take our highlighter, the yellow one, and we're going to go along the x-axis. We're going to highlight domain for x-axis. Right? Now, looking at the x-axis, let's start at the left. Where does this function, this relation start? -3. Draw a line right there, right? -3. Now, looking from left to right, I'm going towards the right. Where am I going to? Where is this function? Positive infinity. How do you know? The function continues to go towards bigger and bigger x values. So for here, What are all the x values in between? X's. How do we write this? Less than, is it equal to, is it on the curve? Yeah, it's equal to. And then less than over here. But what's important here? This part only. This part only. So we say curly bracket, x bar, -3, less than or equal to x, close the curly bracket. Now, let's look at our y value. Pick a color. Pick a color.
Orange.
What do you go
Pick a color. I'm going to pick blue. And I'm going to highlight the y-axis. Now, starting at the bottom, this is headed down. Where is it going? Where's it coming from? If it's going down in this direction, what are these numbers doing? Are they going to positive infinity or negative infinity?
Negative.
Negative. Why? They get less and less and less. So here I'm coming from negative infinity, and I go up to where? Positive infinity. How do you know? It's going off the map in an upward direction. If it's going down off the map in a downward direction, these numbers are getting smaller and smaller. This is for your range, just going up and down. So the only thing that matters is we cannot put negative infinity to positive infinity. What will we put instead? Y bar, y equals all real numbers. If we have infinities on both sides, please scoot your desk back for me. Thank you. Now, is this a function? Can you create a vertical line out of 2 points on this graph? So pick an x value, pick a number between -3 and 5. 4. So if I put a dot up here where x equals 4, and I put a dot down here where x equals 4, can I create a vertical line?
Yeah.
Because I can do that, it's not a function. Is that clear? Is that clear? Let's say I have this relation. Can I pick 2 points and make a vertical line? Is that a function? No. No. This is the same x value. No. Same thing here. If I pick 2 points, is that a function? No. I hope that makes it clear what it looks like, what a function does not look like. Now, here's my relation here. Here's my x's and y's. And I'm going to come down. Curly bracket, x bar, x equals -5, -4, -3, -4. Does anything repeat?
Yeah, -4.
So this is not a function. Carlos, will you brush the desk back, please? Elijah, scoot your desk back, please. Range, y bar. Y equals 4, 3, 2, and 1. Close the curly bracket. You need to be checking your answers. Number 7. Is this a function? Yes. Curly bracket. What repeats in this function? 0. How do you know? They all map to 0. X equals 4, 5, and 6. You have the option of saying y equals 0, 0, 0, or y equals
All real numbers.
0. It does not equal all real numbers. Does not equal all real numbers. Now, highlight your x-axis, please. Highlight your x-axis. Now we're going to get all of our x values. We're going to circle each one, starting from the left. What do we have here? -2. Next one. 1. 3. Is this a function? 5. X equals 3 here. X equals 3 there. It's not a function. And we're creating a vertical line. Last one is 4. So I have -2, 1, 3, 4. Close the curly bracket. Your range. Your range. Maybe you want to highlight. Say, stop talking. Maybe you want to highlight the y-axis if you're struggling. Now, starting from the bottom, not the top, in order, -2, -1, 1, 2, and 4. You can't go wrong if you do that. If you're struggling right now, you should not be after this. So your range, y bar, y equals. And please be mindful. If you're not putting a y bar, it's a wrap. Just telling you. Now, look at the last one on this page. Or the last one above the evaluate. Starting on the left for your x-axis. If you're still struggling with domain and range, highlights. Highlights. Starting on the left. Where does this start?
-4.
-4. And what's happening on the right? Is there an endpoint or is there an arrow?
Arrow.
And where is it going with that arrow?
Positive.
Positive infinity. You can see those numbers getting bigger and bigger now, right? Chords, all these in between are called what? X's. And it's going to positive infinity. What matters? Does this infinity matter? No. What matters is x bar, -4, less than or equal to x, close the curly bracket. And we could be through notes every day, really quickly, if you guys just step up the game a little bit. Okay? Range. The range. Y bar. Okay? Now, I'm going to highlight up and down, right? Now, where does this start? Do we start at the bottom or do we start at the top? Bottom. The smallest numbers. What does it start at? Looking up and down. What's this number? 1. And my y values, right? Where is it pointed? Is it going downwards or upwards? Upwards on the right. Where is it going? What's happening to these numbers as you move up? Where are you going towards? 2. Positive infinity. So you have 1 less than or equal to y. Just write it as it is. 1 less than or equal to y. Is this a function? Does it look something like that? No. It's a function. It's a straight line. Might it have an endpoint, but it's still a function. It's a line. Now, number 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. You're plugging a number in. You're replacing a number. Now, look at this number. Remember what I told you? What's inside of the function? Is that an x value or a y value? X. This is an x value. What's outside of a function? Y. Everything on the right-hand side is a y value. So what did they give you in number 10? Did they say 2? Is that x equals 2 or y equals 2? X equals 2. Why? What's it inside of? The parentheses. The parentheses. This is the first thing you want to do when you approach these problems. Don't go to your calculator. You write it out because you want to make sure you're putting it right in your calculator. So -9 plus parentheses. When you're doing something to an exponent, you put parentheses. 2 cubed. You can write f of x or f of 2 equals -9 plus 2 cubed. How do I do the cube? This is the button. This button with a tent. Write it down. How do I do absolute values? You press alpha. Alpha. If you want to remember this, I'm not going to tell you on the test. If you don't know what it is, you better be writing it down. Alpha. Window. Number 1. That means you enter on number 1. What about fractions? Alpha. Y equals. Those are the buttons on your calculator. Okay? So we're going to go to our calculator and do the first one. Make sure everybody's on the right page. -9 plus parentheses. I'm typing exactly what I wrote. 2 up arrow cubed. Anybody confused about how to do a cube? You press enter. There's your answer. Equals -1, and I circle it. Number 11, absolute value. I press alpha window and press enter on number 1 and type what I need to type in there. Is anybody confused? You can do 11, 12, and 13 on your own. The number we're going to focus on is number 14. It says, what is x when f of x equals 7? Is this an x value or a y value? Why? Why is it a y value? Where is it located? Outside of the parentheses. She said on the right side of the equal sign. It's not inside of the parentheses. So y equals 7. Where is y? Right there. Rewrite it. Y equals 2x plus 1. How do we set this up? 7 equals 2x plus 1. Now I'm solving for x. What am I going to move first? 1. We want x values on one side, x terms on one side, and number terms on the other. We get 6 equals 2x. How do I solve for x from there? Divide by 2. How many solutions is this? One solution. Good job. Yes. Next. Use the graph of f of x to answer the following questions. What is f of x? It's this line. It's this line of valleys and peaks. Now it says, what is the value of f of x, f of -3 at -3? Is this an x value or a y value? Is it inside the parentheses or outside of it?
Right.
So what kind of value is this? Don't talk. Don't talk.
It's a Y.
Now, since x equals -3, we're looking for a y value. We look at the x-axis. We find -3. You start at the origin, -1, -2, -3. You're looking for a y value, so you go up to that point. What is this y value?
4.
4. Number 16, it says, what is the value of f of 0? It's inside of the parentheses, so x equals 0. You go to where x equals 0. That means you don't go left, you don't go right. You just stay at the origin, and you go down to your y value. There's my y value. It's -2. You should be able to do 17. You should be able to do 18. 19, it says, what is the value of x where f of x equals 6? Is this an x value or a y value? This is y. It's outside of parentheses, so y equals 6. So I'm going to go up the y-axis to 6. Here's my y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I go over to the curve and find my x value. It's 4. '21 is talking about patterns. Since this table shows a linear pattern, what is the missing value? Now, let's look at the a values. How do they get to the next step? What are they doing each time?
Adding 1.
Adding 1. That's the pattern. Does everybody see that? Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. 1 plus 1 is 2. It produces a 2 in the B column. And so on and so forth. Actually, it doesn't produce 2. But you go to the next step by adding 1. Now, we could create an equation, literally, out of that. Look at the B, column B. What do they do to get to the next step?
Add 4.
Does everybody agree? Add 4. Negative 3 plus 4 is 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. What's 5 plus 4? 9. The missing number is 9. So B equals 9. 22. Let's look at the domain. Highlight. Now, if I'm going towards the left, what's happening to this domain? What's happening to the numbers? To where? Negative infinity. And all the numbers in between are x's. On the right, it's going towards the right. Where is it going? Positive infinity. We do not write negative infinity to positive infinity. We write curly bracket. X bar. X equals all real numbers. We could also write the R with the R with a double bar. Now, for my Y values, I highlight up and down. I'm looking up and down. I know all these values are Y bars, Y values. So I do curly bracket, Y bar. Now, looking at this from the bottom, starting at the bottom, is it going to negative infinity? No. It has a starting point. What's the starting point? Negative 4. So we're coming from negative 4. It's less than or equal to all these other values. And it's going to where? Positive infinity. Only thing that's important is this portion here. So from negative 4, less than or equal to y, and we close the curly bracket. Number 23 says, what is the value of f of 0 for the function f of x equals 8x minus 72? What does x equal? 0. It's inside of the parentheses. So we write f of 0 equals 8 times parentheses 0 minus 72. You should not be using this x anymore for times. What's 8 times 0? What's 0 minus 72? Easy answer. Circle it. Now, 24, we're going to come back to in a second. 25, it says, using the ordered pairs shown below, create a relation containing 3 ordered pairs with the domain of negative 5, 1, and 3. Is the domain x values or y values? X values. Circle your answers. Negative 5, here's the x value with negative 5. Here's an x value with negative 5. And here's an x value with negative 5. I mean, with 3. Negative 1 and 3, sorry. And then you need to, on your test, if you're not using parentheses, I'm going to mark it wrong. You need to write it out. Negative 5, negative 2, negative 1, comma 1, comma 3, and 4. Now, 26 says, write a verbal expression for 4x cubed. So first of all, what kind of operation is it when you have a variable next to a number? Is it addition, subtraction? So I'm saying 4 times x what? Cubed. Cubed, that's a 3. X cubed. What's this symbol? Do we write 4x cubed subtraction? Minus 10. I'm going to mark it wrong if I see subtraction. What if you see subtraction? I can do that. Now, when I see parentheses and they have two things inside, what's a good word to use? What's a quotient? Is that multiplying? That's division. That's division. What are we doing? Multiplying, product of. What's another good word? Quantity. Quantity. Why? Because you have an operation outside. So the quantity of you'll notice it because of the parentheses. The quantity of 4 what? Is it 4 plus 4? 4 times x cubed. And what's this operation? Minus 10. Now, 27, 28, 29 are special. In 27, are we solving for x? No, how do you know? There's no equal sign. 28, are you solving for x? What about 29? Do we know what x is? So 3 different types of problems. So I'm going to rewrite. You need to rewrite 6 times x plus 1 minus 3 times x minus 5. Now we're going to highlight, and I need you to do it in a specific way. The first term inside, I'm going to put it like that. And underneath it, I'm going to write a little thing. The second term, the second part, I'm going to highlight the first term inside and highlight a little dot underneath. Pick a different color. Highlight the second terms in both and highlight underneath. If you're struggling with the distributive property, this will help you. If you are struggling with the distributive property, this will help you. There's 2 different terms you need to distribute to. You should have 2 different colored dots underneath both of those terms. Now, pick up your pencil. You're going to draw your arrow. What's 6 times x?
6x.
So right here, I have 6x. Is 6 positive or is it negative?
Positive.
What's positive 6 times a positive 1? Draw your arrow. Plus 6. Look at the next one. What am I distributing negative 3 to first? X. You just struggled with the distributive property before. You should not be struggling at this point. Negative 3x. Why is it negative?
It is negative.
Because it's negative 3 times x.
Thank you. And then negative 3 times what? Produces what kind of number? Positive what?
15.
15. Are we done? Can I leave it like that? What are my like terms?
X.
So 6x minus 3x is how many x's? 3 x's. 6 plus 15 is what? 21. Can I write it like that? What's wrong with that? You cannot forget the symbol. Should I be combining 3 x's and 21?
No.
They are not like terms. If you still don't get it, you need to practice. Now, 28. What am I distributing?
5.
Can we just draw the arrows now?
Yes.
Oh, can you scoot your desk back, please? 5x. 5 to what? What kind of number produces?
A negative 20.
Negative 20. Who's shaking my table? What happens to 3x? plus 3x's equals 50 minus 2x. Now what do we want to do? Why didn't we move anything? How many terms do we have on this side? How many? How many terms in all? 3? How many is over here?
2.
So we don't need 3 terms. We can't do anything if we have more than 2 terms. We need to simplify the left side and wait on the right. So you said combine like terms, we have 5x's and positive 3x's. How many x's in all? 8 x's. I hope this makes it simpler for you. Now can we move terms?
Yes.
What do we want to move first?
Negative 2.
No.
X terms first?
Yeah.
So add 2 x's on both sides. We get 10 x's minus 20 equals 50. This goes away. Now what? Add 20. We're going to get x terms on one side, number terms on the other. How many solutions did you get? And what's the solution? How many of you feel like you're going to pass the test now? This is what the test looks like. Last problem. What are we going to do with x equals negative 6?
Base that X.
Fill it in.
Fill it in. What do you need to do? Write it out. So this equals 7, absolute value of 6 minus 2 plus 4. Now I need you to go back through your review. I need you to go back through your review and finish all of the problems. The ones we missed, we didn't go over, you need to finish all of them. If you are done with that, you are going to go to MathSpace and work on those work on the activities. You have 3 activities that I need you to do before October 21st. These are the activities. These are the activities. Properties, equations, or one-step and two-step equations, and distributive practice. Each month, you will have 4 activities to do in MathSpace. I expect them to be done. Those are the 3 you need to do before the quarter ends. The dates are on there. The due dates are on there. Finish that pack, the review, the Unit 3 review. The packet you can do at home.
Okay, so.
You have questions from the packet?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
So, do we